Good.
Have a great show, everyone. And sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Sparkle.
Don't you know that I'm trying to get to you, trying to get through, but I don't know how to get to you. Don't you know that I'm trying to get to you, trying to get through, but I don't know how to get to you. Hey friend, I'm just checking in. Hey friend, I don't know where you've been. Hey friend, won't you let me in? Hey friend, I'm just checking in. Hey friend, I don't know where you've been. Hey friend, won't you let me in?
I saw.
I'm going to have an earworm now.
You're going to have a song worm.
I said I'm going to have an earworm. I'm going to be hearing
Yes.
for the rest of the night. That's so cute. If I could teach my cat to do that, I'd be very wealthy.
I think you would be indeed. Well, welcome.
Yes.
Welcome to beautiful Joel Tilson and Chuck Dransfield
Thank
in the
you.
house today. It is Tuesday, June 16th, 2026. Thank God for the clock being in front of me. I swear I got Alzheimer's.
We all
I
do.
thought I grabbed a book that was from the section of selected and it had already been selected. So my apologies. So how have you been, Chuck?
Yeah. Well, in all fairness,
That's
I blanked out also because when we do interviews, things like this, I tend to clear the slate and move on to the next thing. But I thought that book sounds oddly familiar. Why? And I looked it up. No, Whimsy, everything is just good. I'm working on artwork, working on my channel.
It happens.
Channel readings, loving life.
I worry. Well, maybe I was, I don't know, out of it last time. Okay, so we have a new book of the month for the Book of the Month Club. Drum roll, please. The correct book of the month is, now tell me we didn't do this one. No.
It doesn't look familiar.
Now
Ever.
Thank you. Oh, my cough. All right. Now Ever by Christina Bach. Now Ever by Christina Bach. She's followed her own vision to islands large and small beneath the North Star and Southern Cross. She writes in an Oregon mountain town. Ooh, that sounds like my dream. I wonder if she's living in Sisters, Oregon. But that would be Christina Bach. the author of Now, Wherever, Now Ever, Now Ever, Now Ever.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, it harkens back to the days of those famous Pacific Northwest writers. Can you think of any?
I'm blanking
drew a
out.
blank.
Joel, can you think of any?
No.
Yeah.
I was
Uh,
going to say, has anybody went through Blue Mountain up in Oregon?
No.
They call them the Blue Mountains when you go on the interstate going toward Idaho.
I was thinking about Still Life with Woodpecker.
Okay.
And even cowgirls get the blues.
Yeah.
And
when you said that, I immediately thought of Klamath Lake, blue-green algae.
Yep.
Still Life with Woodpecker. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't.
No.
Oh, you haven't read that book?
No.
Tom Robbins. One of the characters is in it. Excuse me, I gotta clear my throat. One of the characters in it is the Princess of Seattle.
The Princess of Seattle.
Yeah, who looks out at her kingdom, out at her blackberry bushes. I'm sorry, something's setting me off. I didn't take allergy medicine. Oh my God.
I did. I did a while ago.
Oh,
yeah.
It's bad out here
really
too.
setting me off. Oh my God.
Sorry for you guys.
I don't.
I'm lucky. I'm not having any allergies right now.
I'm raging against taking Allegra, so but every time I sit here, it sets me off.
Zyrtec is what I take.
Yeah, that's what I have, but I don't. It's not good to take that stuff too often.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
Only when needed.
Well, Chuck, why don't you go ahead and turn the camera around and say hi to everybody that decided to join us today? And it looks like we've got a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Who's all here with us?
Well, we have Brenda Rakestraw. We have Gigi Pardo Lord. Well, our Joel Tilson is here. Hey, Joel, our floor director. Suze Malik. Nancy Potter Johnson. Wendy Burt. Denise Riposa. Jess Miskey, Deb-P9J, Rockin' Pony Lady is here, Shizzle1234, Rita's Biz, Tarot by Sharona is here, Shanty Rose 222, Susan Robinson. Oh, my friend Joyce Petrus is here. Hi, y'all.
Hi, Joyce.
Hey. Yeah, I'm getting in touch with Joyce so we can get her all set up so she can be a guest on the show.
We got to get her on here.
Yeah, it's exciting.
She is a gifted astrologer.
And as you'll be happy to know that Facebook is up and running again. We had some challenges with Facebook.
So glad to hear. So is that all resolved now?
That is all resolved with them taking no responsibility and they treated
me. They never will.
They treated me as if I had put porn on my Facebook pages. What they do is they penalize somebody for like 3 months, and then they lift the ban without admitting. And this has happened to me twice. So now I've got 2 strikes because I've been a victim twice. So it's just like, well, you've been a victim twice, and so you're really on thin ice here. It's just like. Yeah. Welcome to the psych hospital that is Facebook. I mean, just what a nut job. Like, what a bunch of nut jobs. How do you
protect yourself? How can you possibly protect yourself?
Well, clearly, if you don't respect me, then my way of protecting myself is that I won't pay to advertise because you're not correct. You're not protecting the credit card. You're not protecting. So they earn something like $55 billion a year in advertising. They can afford to have half the audience angry and defrauded and walk out because they're too powerful to fail in that.
They are. That's it. They're too powerful.
Will they get a class action?
Yes, there are a couple class actions. Yeah. I had actually written.
I hope they lose.
Yeah, I had written to the class action saying I'd like to be a part of it because of what happened to me. Yeah. But I didn't hear anything so far. But they say, you'll probably only get $50. It doesn't matter if I only get 50. The point is that I want to be.
It puts them on notice.
Well, Whimsy, it's the principle. It's like when Carol Burnett once sued the National Enquirer because they called her an alcoholic. Yeah, she won, but she said, I don't care if all I get is a $1 and cab fare home. I proved my point. You know,
That's
and I
right.
was stating my integrity. So that's the way I see this. It's important to fight this. It's important for people also to stick together on this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there are millions of people like you.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely glad to see everybody from Facebook back here able to get to the
Very
live
happy to have
stream.
you.
And of course, we're also back up with X. We were down with X as well. There was a problem with that stream. Whatever the problem was, it was resolved. So we're happy about that. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the hot topics that you all wanted to talk about today. We are mixing it up. We're doing natural medicine, but we're also doing politics because, well, world affairs is important, but we just want to balance everything. And we got bored with just doing health. So we're back here doing 50-50 because, you know, the Buddha says seek balance. So we're doing balance here. So as many of you know, Trump did take an international flight. He went to, I believe it's France, Evian-les-Bains, France. This is not somebody who has been advised to travel that often.
I was going to ask you about that, actually.
Well, he has cankles, and there are rumors that he's had at least one heart attack. But even if he hadn't, with cankles and, you know, weakening of his venous system, he's at higher risk of clots. This is one of the reasons why they're giving him a baby aspirin every day, is to reduce his risk of clots. So just with what we know, he also has coronary artery disease. There's been some calcification in the arteries that's been confirmed. So we have a couple things going on. We have the fact that he's overweight, the fact that he's not physically active, the fact that he's got cankles and coronary artery disease. We don't want this person with this kind of a profile who's just turned 80 years old to be flying all over the place.
Yeah, because you were saying he should not be flying more than 4 hours at a time.
Yeah, it's usually not recommended. With these kinds of cases, what he can do is he can do a stopover in Bedminster, spend a day in Bedminster.
That's true. Yeah.
And then from there, he could fly to London or France for like 6 to 8 hours. And then it would be less harsh on him. And the best way to do that would be to do it on a weekend, right? So that he has a weekend to recuperate, maybe in New Jersey. And then it just gets him there a little bit faster.
It's short. It's a shorter flight to Iceland, though. If he flew to Iceland, there's a base there, and
so he might have broken it up into, and he's done that, where he's broken it up, where he'll do a flight to New York, a flight to Iceland. You know, and but the point is that he said a lot of interesting things. And one of the things that he said was that he didn't feel that what was going on in Ukraine had anything to do with the United States, basically.
What?
Delusional. Totally delusional.
Trump signals he may reimpose sanctions on Russian oil as G7 refocuses on Ukraine. Well, Ukraine is winning the war, isn't it?
Yeah,
they're winning.
Yeah, they are. We're getting that even in our readings. It's my understanding that Trump has been critical that the G8, it's now the G7, because didn't they eliminate the Soviet Union?
Yes, Russia.
Yeah, and Russia, pardon me there, Russia, but I understand Trump has been very critical of that.
They deserved it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he can get Russia reinstated. You know, it's just, I think the other leaders just look at him like, how do we manage this guy? It's like, how can we tolerate this guy? How can we manage and move on? Like they know they're dealing with a highly unconventional president and circumstances.
He's not the only one on thin ice, though. You look at that crowd of people, and every single one of them is on their way out the door. They're all on thin ice.
Yeah.
Well, Starmer behind him.
Exactly. Can we start with Keir Starmer and how unpopular he is right now in Britain?
Very worse than Trump.
Yeah,
he's worse than Trump right now. I mean, I think he's less than 30% right now.
How popular is Modi?
I don't know. India is kind of hard to.
How many assassination attempts on Modi?
Or few. There's been a few that And there probably been a lot more that we don't know about.
Right. What about Macron's popularity?
Not good.
Yeah.
So,
And I think the idea that NATO didn't join us in trying to do something with Iran is going to bite them all of them in the long run. They got to get involved. They can't just be sitting on the sidelines.
well, let's go into that also, because when we go into the Iran ceasefire deal, nobody appears to be happy about this. Do you guys want to
Bogus.
talk a little bit about the Iran deal and why it's been considered such a disaster? Because I definitely have my feelings about it. But
My feeling is that Netanyahu will not budge out of Lebanon. He won't budge.
Yeah. And
can he afford to budge?
No. If he budges, if he goes back to Israel with his troops, who do you think is going to take over that territory? Hezbollah.
Right. So this is okay. So this gets back to the point that it's like the reporter that infiltrated, right? She was one of the main reporters to infiltrate Iran, and they thought that they had converted her. She played out like she was married to a Muslim. She'd been living in Yemen. She made out like that she could be manipulated. So she got in the room with Khamenei and interviewed Khamenei, this Western female reporter, right? But she said she hung out with his henchmen for, I don't know, a couple weeks. She said they had two things they focused on: the complete collapse of the West, like destroying the West, the great caliphate that's going to take over the world.
Right.
And then the second obsession that they literally talked about nonstop was that we have to kill all the Jews.
Yeah.
We have to kill all the Jews, and we have to take down the West. And it was just not every single day, this obsession with Jews. When they joined the Nazi party, when they became sympathetic to the Nazis, reading Mein Kampf and everything else, this whole idea that Hitler was going to spread Hitler's Mein Kampf to the Arab world because he wanted it to survive the fall. He wanted Nazism to survive the fall of Germany. And in effect, Hitler kind of succeeded because that's precisely what happened.
Iran.
Yeah.
Well, this goes back to Hitler and the mullahs, right? So when Hitler goes to meet with the Palestinian leadership and what will go on to become the future leaders in that area, this was the whole point of an alliance between the Palestinians and Hitler under Haj Amin al-Husseini. This was the introduction of Mein Kampf to the people that would create, a door for Hamas and Islamic Brotherhood, and Iran's joining of the whole philosophy that would come out of the new Iran, that was calling for the destruction, kill all the Jews, and the destruction of the United States, or the destruction of the West. Couldn't you view it as just a continuation of Hitler's doctrine? He gave it to them, and then they basically, it also wound up popular in Qatar, right? Qatar is putting billions into our education system. We no longer have a Department of Education. Our Department of Education is being gutted.
It has been gutted, hasn't it?
So who's paying for our secondary education? What's the main country pouring money into U.S. universities?
Qatar.
That's right, Qatar. And they're basically Nazis. They want to kill all the Jews. So it doesn't surprise me, and their latest excuse is that they don't like Israel. But before there was a state of Israel, they were calling for the death of the Jews, right? So when you look at it like that, there are one of two things is going to happen. Either Israel will be destroyed and the Jews will die and be driven from the river to the sea. The Jews will, Palestine will be free of Jews. Juden raus. The Jews will be kicked out. The cleansing of the Jews, right? Which is the final solution that they're pushing for, right?
Yeah.
So either Israel survives or Israel does not survive. That's kind of, it's the ultimate existential crisis. Either Israel survives or it doesn't survive. If Israel wants to survive, then Iran can't stay. And Qatar can't survive either.
Mm-hmm.
Neither Qatar or Iran can survive. If you're trying to build a new Abraham Accords, okay, let's have some money, let's make a deal, let's agree we're not going to kill the Jews for now, right? Because clearly it's not working for us. They keep killing us and they just keep winning, right? So let's start the Abraham Accords and we agree we're not going to kill Jews. We're going to give up the Nazi pact for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, go ahead, please, Joel, go ahead.
I was going to say, what does MBS think about this? What's going on now?
I think it's easy to talk about poor people in Gaza when they're not firing weapons at you, but now they're firing weapons at you. And right. I think that it is starting to dawn on Mohammed bin Salman when the rockets are being fired on him. Oh, this is what the Israelis are talking about. They're trying to kill us.
Exactly.
And then it becomes either you or them.
Right.
Chuck, did you have anything you wanted to say?
No, I don't have anything I could add to that. I mean, I'm just listening to what both of you are saying. It's fascinating.
So what do you think about the deal that basically what we know right now, and Joel can come in. What do you
mean as far as the ceasefire?
People, yeah, can you talk a little bit about it?
I mean, on the surface, it certainly appears real, but I think to almost all of us, it does not appear permanent. It looks more like a diplomatic bridge to further negotiations than anything. I don't know how you two feel about that. That's the way it seems to me. But there's just too many things falling apart. Like both sides have accused each other of violations during ceasefire periods. There's already bickering going on. It just looks too fragile to last very long. But I'm wondering if it'll at least serve as a diplomatic bridge.
Maybe we can do a reading on it.
Yeah, I think we can definitely do a reading on it. But I don't think that there's any way to get past phases 5 and 6.
Right. We've seen this thus far. It's just been systematic right down the line.
Right. So what I like about artificial intelligence is that artificial intelligence just gives you the facts.
Mm-hmm.
And the facts, right. The facts as of 2023, if we want to build Oasis, if we really want to do this, build a new peaceful trade route in the Middle East, these things are going to happen. And if they're not happening, then we can, for all intents and purposes, abandon the Abraham Accords, because there will not be an Abraham Accords. There will not be a peace treaty that will be successful amongst these nations so long as this crap is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Not with the mullahs and Putin in charge.
Well, Yemeni pirates attacking ships coming out of the Strait of Hormuz.
Yep. Orchestrated by
yeah,
Iran.
If we're trying to stabilize trade routes, how is that going to happen?
You have to have, the ones that are going to benefit the most of having the oil flowing again is Europe, NATO, and they're not helping.
Yes.
Oh,
no, they're not. They're just sitting back and watching the
they're
show.
Watching us.
Do you guys want to talk amongst yourselves? And I'm going to take some medicine. I'm just coughing too much. I'm going to go take my Allegra. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say that Whimsy and I saw that when we were in Europe together just a few weeks ago, how it was such a looming threat to the entire continent of Europe. The oil shortage. It was so bad that Whimsy and I worried about our flight from London to Rome being canceled, because we were hearing on the internet, that a lot of flights were being canceled, and there was the possibility of people being stranded, not being able to fly back to America because of a major shortage of jet fuel. Just one thing. And I was also hearing about the rising costs of, everything's affected. Transportation, food costs, you can just go right down the line. Going back to oil shortages. What'd you read?
I was reading that Trump and his Trump's own money people have conducted 3,600 stock trades since he's been in office.
Is that all? I thought it'd be a lot higher than that, frankly.
3,600.
Hasn't it been proven that he has profited? He's made several billion dollars since the start of his second term. I mean, they say that he's cashing in on the presidency.
Oh yeah,
every
it's
opportunity.
A cash cow for him.
Yes, it is.
And there's
just doing it openly.
Yeah. I mean, he's just doing it just to piss off everybody.
Oh, sure, he doesn't care. But didn't he make like $2-3 billion on Bitcoin, like within days of coming into office? Just little. I want to say little things, not little things.
They say it could be anywhere from $10 to $20 billion that he's made since he's been in office this time.
That's it.
So, question regarding how many times Modi had attempted to assassinate him? Quite a few times, actually. There were approximately 8 for serious. The 2004 Ishrat Jaran encounter, 2008, Memdaz serial blast, a 2013 Patna rally blast, Bhima Koregaon 2018 urban Naxal plot. There was also the 2005 Soharubdin Sheikh case, an alleged fake encounter tied to a plot. Basically, there were dozens of smaller ones. The point is that they keep trying to kill him. Mostly, I think it's because it's Islamic extremists that are the main group that are targeting him. And he would like to be part of the Abraham Accords.
Of course.
India wants to come up. What does that mean? Again, it means who's going to control the Strait of Hormuz? The new Iran, maybe. The new Iran might be able to do that, which is, with the Shah's son coming in and standing as some kind of figurehead. But I don't think this. I can't see how this is going to work because Grok doesn't let me down usually. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Trump's going to be in charge when that happens. I don't think he's going to be in charge. I think it's probably going to be Vance or somebody else.
Vance was on The View today.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling about that? Because a lot of people feel like Article 25. Reich was on David Pakman today.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the fact that they are seriously looking at Article 25 right now because for them it's a win situation. They get to have J.D. Vance come in, which they're more than thrilled about that.
We saw that months ago.
Yeah, and it gives them 2 years to promote J.D. Vance as the president for him to
rehabilitate his image. Yeah.
It didn't work well for Carter, and it didn't work well for Bush.
Yeah.
But maybe it'll work for J.D. Vance.
Yeah, I thought that was what was behind his appearance on The View today. It's all part of the beginnings of this.
They're grooming him.
They're grooming him. They're preparing him. They know he's going to be president. We've picked up on that. It's just I'm just surprised Trump is still in office, frankly.
Yeah.
He's tired. He's pissed off.
And Whimsy, that remote viewing you did about how seriously depressed he is. I just thought you nailed it. That's what I feel.
Well, I felt like I didn't know that they had voted to take his name off the Kennedy.
Humiliating.
When I put myself in the shoes of another person, I just try to be them, and then I'm always surprised when I find out what's going on. But I have a moment. I had a depression that is uncommon for me. Like when my marriage ended to Ivana, she said some crappy things about me.
All true, probably.
So
probably.
she was a little bit on my enemies list, right? Because worried about my reputation
David
after getting
Pakman's on
this
his enemies
divorce,
list.
right? So this is where my mind is going. I'm thinking about the first time I was publicly really screwed over. It was my ex-wife. This is the first time I'm feeling this way. But now this is different because I was hopeful back then. I was young. I'm going to come back from this. I'm not going to be a loser just because I got a divorce because she's out there talking crap about me.
Right.
That was difficult for me because of how it harmed my reputation.
Well,
as
and
Donald Trump.
That's the bottom line for Trump: his reputation, his image. You know,
he's 80 years old with mental illness.
Right. So now this time around, they're taking his name off the Kennedy, and he's starting to physically see his name getting erased. And that combined with his 80th birthday, I felt a genuine depression, as if it's really the end for me.
Well, you know what that reminded me of? You know, Hitler put his name on a lot of things, a lot of buildings in Germany, and as soon as World War II was over, all those names were removed. Everything was taken down.
All the symbols too.
Yeah, everything got taken down. But Trump was trying to leave this legacy to his pompous ego, and it's falling apart. Don't you think it's a metaphor? Did you see that about the algae in the reflecting pond? The one that he painted blue like a swimming pool? Now the thing is covered in algae.
Where did he put this pool?
Well, you know, the reflecting pool in the Washington by the Washington Monument, the mall.
Where Martin Luther King, you see it.
Yeah, the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument.
Well, aren't they cleaning it? Aren't they cleaning it on a regular basis?
Well, I just saw in the news this morning, they said it's just infested with algae right now because the renovation work was so poorly done. Apparently the filtration system was not good. Even painting it that color of blue increased more sunlight. Accelerated the growth of the algae. And it cost taxpayers $14 million. And it should have cost about $2 million.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Don't they usually make it white? To reflect back? The bottom of the pool is usually reflective white.
I'm not sure, but I remember it always looked natural, like a natural pond. You know, it's been many years since I've been in Washington, D.C.
It was clean.
Yeah, but it certainly didn't look like a swimming pool. I know that much. Yeah. And it was beautiful and stately and it was clean. But I just think it's such a metaphor. Well, remember last January when there was all that frozen fecal matter in the Potomac River?
Okay.
Because pipes were overflowing. I mean, just so many metaphors of Washington, D.C. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, dear. Well, you know, before we get started, we're going to open the floor to questions. If anybody has any questions, we will blitz away. And we wanted to remind people of our book of the month is Now Ever by Christina Bach. Now Ever by Christina Bach. Yeah, so I think it's going to be good. All right, awesome. All right, so the conversation, we're moving on with hot topics, and we always like to cover natural medicine here, not just politics. We want to include ways to empower yourself, to improve your health. We want it to be as cost effective as possible, and how things that you can do in order to improve your health, lengthen your days, and have a great life that are not going to cost you any money.
I was just going to say that. It doesn't cost you a thing.
Well, you and I are broke aristocrats, Chuck. You know, it's like you and I, we went to a couple fancy places, but in the end, dive spaghetti turned out to be the best.
Turned out to be the best pasta.
Right. It was a little hole in the wall, literally, and we walked in $10 and that place, they keep the price down because they don't have a fancy seating area, and they're just there to get a good pasta. You come in, you can get a good pasta at a cheap price. And that's really what I think it is to be a broke aristocrat, is we're always looking for the best in life, but we don't necessarily
simple riches of life. Yeah.
Right. And this is one of the things that we can all do, which is to ask ourselves, how much time are you spending bathing or being in nature. And when you are in nature, think about how you feel. Obviously, if I'm having an allergy, thank God, my medicine works quickly. I was able to take some medicine for it. But
I saw that in London when they were.
Yeah, because I have the liquid. I took the children's liquid. That's why it works so fast. But so talk to me, you guys. So what do you think the benefits are? And then I'll tell you how close you get to the truth with the data. So what are some of the benefits that happen when you spend time in nature, Chuck? Go for it.
Certainly right off the top, lower stress, reduced anxiety, lower levels of stress hormones such as cortisol, improved mood, cardiovascular effects, lower blood pressure, stronger heart rate, mental well-being.
Yes, mental well-being. Let's back up because that's pretty darn impressive there.
Yes, it's a refresh.
Physician's assistant Chuck.
Yes,
very, very good.
Certainly less mental fatigue, greater feelings of calm, connectiveness, improved attention, improved concentration. I mean, all these benefits.
Reduced risk for Alzheimer's, right? People who spend more time outdoors and less time in bed have less Alzheimer's. Do you think why would we see less Alzheimer's in this population and better brain activity, do you think?
Offhand, I can't help but think it would help to lower inflammation. It would help to bring more oxygen to the brain.
Bingo. That's right.
Also, I think just we overload our brains with so much stuff. I'm guilty of this. And sometimes when we get forgetful, it's just because we have too much on our mind. It's good to clear the slate and just walk and just be and absorb.
Well, it's just like in Cheyenne, Wyoming, we have the mountains. We're surrounded by mountains here. And when you walk in nature's, and
I'm lucky. I live across from Griffith Park here in Los Angeles.
And what's nice is when you walk in nature, you just feel so refreshed and grounded. And
grounded, yes.
You just feel better.
Yeah. And physical things are going on. Like Chuck had pointed out, your oxygen levels are going to be increasing. You're physically out there and increasing oxygen is going to be better for the brain.
Yeah.
The other thing you're going to be doing is that walking, exercising is going to raise serotonin.
Yes.
And that's one of the neurotransmitters that we think about. It's like a happy pill. So much so that people that hike and get out in nature on a regular basis, it's one of the most effective ways to treat post-traumatic stress disorder, and maybe even more effective than some anti-anxiety medications.
Yeah. I even thought about you, Whimsy, the way you communicate with plant life and herbs so well. We all have that ability to do that when we're communing with nature.
Yeah, and I go through different phases in my life. Like there's one part of me, I want to keep my life very simple. I'll just go move to the country of Georgia or Albania. And then there's another part of me that thinks, but I can do that right here in the United States. I mean, there's dirt cheap houses you can buy in Wichita or Maryville, Missouri that, for $100,000 you can get a house. You can get housing assistance and everything else. So if you have good credit, there's options out there. I mean, I think it doesn't really matter whether you've got a small house and you're growing a couple apple trees in Wichita, Kansas, or you choose to go somewhere else, like a small village in Italy. The bottom line is that being in nature is important for your health.
It is very important. Just looking, my cat is getting into my artwork. Can you pardon me 1 second? I just need to pull her off. Excuse me.
So Joel, I know you're pretty physically active. How much time are you spending in your garden? How much time are you spending in nature?
I don't, I say about 15, 30 minutes a day. That's all I need. Just to have a nice walk every day.
Do you ever you know what? Part of me thinks I should just break down, buy a old home in a small town. You can get them for like $100K. You can get.
Are you good at fixing things in the house?
I think I would hire local people.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't be good at it.
Oh, I've been working on this house since I got here.
The shame is my father was such a gifted carpenter, handyman. He was so good with this sort of thing He tried to teach me things, and I wasn't interested.
No, you gotta be
Dummy.
interested.
Yeah, but I mean, I really missed
Like
out.
remodeling my
They'd be
bathroom
serving me now.
that I just finished.
I think that there's some things I would be able to do on my own, and there's some things where I'm smart enough to realize that a YouTube video is not going to do it.
Well,
that's true.
It all.
You mean Grok can't solve this for you, Whimsy?
An example would be I've put down tiles and I screwed up. I mismeasured them, and I've done it more than once, and both times I mismeasured them. Mm-hmm. That there's a right and a wrong way to do tiles, and
you have to take your time.
You have to take your time. You have to measure the whole thing, and each one is a foot, and then you have to divide it, and you have to start. Some would recommend at the center, depending. You have to slice them, and it's just a pain in the ass. And it's just better to bring somebody in professionally than to do a crappy job.
Generally, it's a lot cheaper. Just get someone to
I
do
did it
right,
myself.
Yeah.
I put in wall tiles. Just the floor tiles are too extensive for me, but I can do wall tiles, which is all you have to do is just watch some YouTube videos. You'll get all the information you need.
You're talking about on the walls?
Yeah, right on the wall. Glass and stone tiles.
You're talking about in the bathroom, places like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've also seen tiles like that have adhesive. You just pull the paper off the back.
You do that
stick
too.
them on, and it's good for people who live in apartments or rental homes where they can't.
They have the peel and stick.
Mm-hmm.
You just make sure that the wall is clean before you put it on.
Yeah.
And I did that at the last house because I was in a hurry to get it done before I sold the house, which I did, and it passed. They thought it was real.
Cool. Well, let's go ahead. We'll do the empath prayer, and we will go ahead and blitz away. And if you'd like to receive a healing at this time, go ahead and give us your name or the name of the person that you would like us to pray for. And we will include them in our prayers today as we want to bring in the empath prayer. We want to say hi to everyone here at YouTube. We've got a couple people from Facebook. Always great to see you. And we've got one or two from X and from Twitch as well. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Much appreciation.
We love having you here.
We are very appreciative.
We are grateful.
Any psychic questions you have about what's going on in the world, or even a personal question, if you feel like it's something that you need to have answered, we're going to spend the next 20 to 30 minutes blitzing away. So without further ado, if everybody has given the names of those you need us to pray for, we will go ahead and we will bring in the empath prayer.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively as a community, we say, Amen.
Amen.
For those people who are requesting healings today, we come together as a collective and we pray. We pray that you and those you love receive a perfect healing in mind, body, and in spirit. And together again, collectively, we say, Amen, Amen, Amen. Amen. May all souls be healed.
May all souls be
May all
healed.
souls be healed.
Right.
So what are you guys thinking? Like, what would be more attractive to you? Would it be more attractive to you to say, I'm going to buy a small, well, I found houses that were very affordable, under $150,000 in places like Maryville, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And then
If
I've
you got a
also,
car,
And then you sent me a video about Italy.
if you have a car
well,
Yeah.
or a
actually,
motorcycle.
they do have a bus service, but the thing about they have Uber, so you don't really need buses. Also, you can get an electric cart. That's always fun to get around the neighborhood.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Whimsy, would you be okay with like one of those electric scooters or something?
Not
Just
a
to get around town?
scooter. I mean, like
They got these scooters now that they
Yeah.
have the saddles on them where you can put all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
in them.
They're
that
very
might be a
popular here
little.
in LA.
That might be a little too poor for me. But I'll show you the one that I liked.
Oh, I could see you looking very grand, Whimsy.
Looking grand in her.
Yes.
Well, I like these. I like these porches that you can sit on, and you can have your mint julep or whatever.
I was going to say that.
I still remember sitting out on the front porch of my grandparents' house
Oh, yeah.
and having
my-
lemonade with my
I grew
siblings.
up like that also. And my
Well, this is-
grandmother had a
this
big
is
They
where
had a
my-
little swing.
This is
We
where
had a
my
little
Yes,
swing bed.
yes.
this is where my grandmother was born.
Oh, cool.
Mm.
And you're talking about
That
if
looks
you
like
moved.
the same house.
Yeah.
You know, Whimsy, that looks like, have you ever seen those prefabricated houses in those old Sears catalogs? Like around the turn of the last
I think
century,
this one
people
is
could actually order
larger.
a house.
Yeah, I
They were
think this
very
is-
common. People would order the kits.
Yeah, I don't think this is a Sears house. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
This one is $169,000 in Maryville,
Oh.
Missouri.
that would suit you.
I've
well.
gotten approved for $200,000, so I would be able to move in zero down.
Ooh. a nice place to come visit.
You'd probably be able to move in zero down too. Like
Yeah.
because we're talking about very little money. But say you put 10,000 down on something like that, because you want to
Yeah.
put something down,
Right.
and then you borrow 150,000 or whatever, 160,000.
Yeah, yeah.
And but
I-
it actually turned out to be pretty good for neighborhood wise. It was actually not bad. The walk score was 66
Yeah.
and the bike score was 59. Not bad at all.
How far away is the stores?
Well, I usually have my stuff delivered. I do Instacart, so it wouldn't really matter.
Yeah. Now, what about heating a house like that in the wintertime and cooling it in the summer? That's such
Yeah,
a
I
big
mean, what I
open
love about
space.
these places is that they usually will have a fireplace. I've
Yeah,
yet to see
but I'm
one of these
thinking-
old homes not have a fireplace, and
Yeah.
so I would definitely want to have at least a fireplace, because I just
Yeah.
love. But look
Oh, I
at
love that.
that.
That's adorable.
Right,
that
and
just looks like it-
That roof will last you forever, by the way.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just seeing all of this.
You got a
Yeah.
swing set.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, like, there are still deals out there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and isn't it pretty?
It reminded me of
Beautiful.
when I was in James Dean's hometown of Fairmount, Indiana 4 years ago, and I saw so many cute houses like that for sale for like nothing. But people warned me about, now be prepared. You're going to have to deal with heating, your cooling. A lot of those old wood houses have termites. You've got problems there. So there's a lot of
Termites
maintenance.
is definitely a problem. You know,
and
There. What
But
part
they
of
were-
Missouri is it?
this is Maryville, which is about 60 minutes from. It's not, my
Is it south of Kansas City?
yeah.
mm,
1 hour?
Yeah, about 1 hour to 90 minutes,
That's
depending.
that's where my
This
great
is the
great
one-
grandfather was
This
born.
is the one I like. You plant a couple trees.
oh yeah,
I would plant a couple fruit and nut trees and a plot a garden there as well. And that's enough space. And look at that. I've got that wraparound porch there. Isn't that fantastic?
yeah. Oh, that's a wraparound. I didn't even notice.
I mean, not a wraparound, but I like
but
the
it's enough of
wraparounds
a
too.
porch. Yeah.
It's front porch.
I looked at
A
one
front
that
porch.
was a wraparound also, but look at how much.
Oh,
Look at that
look
for
at all that
160.
space.
It's got a lot of character to it.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
So that's why I'm
Yeah.
saying, for people that don't
That's-
want to
that's
leave
real
the
wood,
United
by the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
there still may be an option for you if you're looking at places that you would be willing to live in that
Yeah.
are affordable, because
Sure.
that is one of the things to think about. Do I stay or do I leave? And I think ever since this crazy has happened with Donald Trump, I used to not think like this as an American. It's
A lot
like
of us didn't think this way.
I mean,
You know
like I
what?
lived in Europe, but it was kind of like that was my time in Europe, and now I'm back in America, and I'm off to the next adventure. And now I'm like, what the hell is this? What am I going back to Europe?
I think the humidity is just going to be too much for you.
Yeah, someone mentioned
Humidity is bad.
In Maryville?
Yes,
Really?
that's Missouri.
Well, I certainly know in Virginia.
Here's the wraparound that I was telling you about, 250,000.
Wow.
Oh, God.
That's nice. That's perfect.
That's so beautiful.
Love the color.
Yeah, this one is actually my favorite. You know,
That's a lot of house.
it's a lot of house, but what if you rented? What if you turned it into a house where you rented to people?
A bed and breakfast.
You know, or an Airbnb or something like that.
Yeah,
But,
something like that. Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't. I would be kind of. I don't know if I would want other people living there, but at 2005, at that particular price, you're talking about a month, and say you take out a loan for 25,000 just to put down, because we're not talking about a huge sum of money here. I said down payment of 51,000. With a credit score of 720, it would be 1,500 a month. So that's not hard to do if you get somebody to move in with you and share rent or something like that.
Yeah. Now, as Shannon Chambers was just asking, does it have a storm cellar? Because that area gets tornadoes.
It does.
Wasn't it mandatory that they had to have that in some of those cities? I think it's mandatory.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Facts and
I
features.
mean, something everywhere. Here in LA, we have earthquakes. There they have tornadoes.
Yeah.
Florida has hurricanes.
Yeah, it's a given in the Midwest that you have to have storm cellars.
Yeah, I think it does. I think they mention them on premise. But that's crazy that you have to have those. But wow, it's like, it amazes me if you're willing to live in the middle of the country, but you and I love the coast.
What's the insurance like?
Not bad. I mean, both. I looked at where to live in the United States if you're trying to get a decent house, and you can put like zero down or very little, and you're on a fixed budget. And they said Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, Kansas, you can get a nice situation for zero down if you've got good credit.
Tennessee is really nice. You know,
that,
when I lived in Virginia,
I agree with Joel about the humidity. I think someplace like that, it would be absolutely not for me.
Well, truthfully, the whole East Coast too.
And bugs.
I like this idea, though, where people feel like I have no choice. I have to leave the United States. I like this idea of, no, you don't. You can find a place affordable right here in America.
Whimsy,
we don't all have to live in LA, which is going bankrupted anyway.
Yeah. Whimsy, do you think part of it is we're just attracted to the drama? You know, oh, let's take off and go to Italy. Let's go to Europe. There's something dramatic about that maybe appeals.
I mean, I have friends who live in Italy, and they say that their lives are not even slightly boring. I mean, slightly interesting. They just work office jobs. They don't go out all that often. They're just distressed about money. They're just distressed about their husband having an emotional affair.
Yeah.
All that crap is going on. It's just that we're on vacation. So we think life is a big vacation. And the people living there are having the same problems.
When you go on vacation, you're getting a distorted view. Reality.
Yeah. And my great-grandparents, they thought that Missouri was the greatest state on earth. They were there for 5 generations. So it's like, we have to be careful we don't project just because they were Dust Bowl refugees or whatever, because they moved to Washington State and all they wanted to do is we've got to get back to Missouri. So to put things in perspective and then say, well, let me be open-minded about this. We're talking about this being in my budget. This is something I can do. This is where my family comes from, 5 generations. And they thought something about this place was really pretty great. So there's a lot pointing to me just staying in the U.S. and buying something local. I looked at Astoria, and it was like $500,000 for Astoria, Oregon.
Astoria is beautiful.
It's a
God, it's
beautiful.
beautiful.
I can get the same thing for 250
Right.
in
Right.
Maryville.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
True.
Well, let's see what's going on here.
Lots to ponder.
Never-
Okay, from Deborah Salazar / Lotus Seed. To what extent are the damages to the education department going to affect special needs children? State waivers under Medicaid are okay, but I see the government literally killing disabled children with its policies.
Well,
God, I hope not.
the IQ of people in Yemen is some of the lowest in the Middle East. You know, so the fact that Qatar, Yemen, Iran want to control our education system should have us pretty disturbed.
Yeah, yeah. But I've worried about special needs children. What's going to happen? You know,
If we don't pay for our Department of Education, another government will come in. We have to care about. Sociopaths don't care about children. They don't care about the
they
Department.
don't
They
care
don't.
about anybody. They don't
Let's
care about
throw cars.
themselves.
Yeah,
Probably.
let's go ahead and throw on the Department of Education.
Midterms are coming, guys.
Yeah,
The midterms are coming.
You guys know what to do.
not that
5 months. Less than 5 months.
We see
Yeah,
corruption
less.
in both parties, but
Oh, yeah.
we're still voting. I'm still voting Democrat. I mean, it would take a lot for me to vote for a Republican.
We need grown-ups in government.
Yeah.
I can count on one hand, maybe two fingers, the times I've ever voted Republican.
Really? You have done it though?
I don't even. That's what I said. I'm maybe once, maybe twice in my whole lifetime, but no, it's rare.
I see the United States getting control of the Department of Education.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We can pay for our own education by promoting small businesses and by having contracts to promote American-made small businesses.
Yeah.
But I see the magician coming, fighting back, money coming in, and then victory over the next 6 months. Americans are going to save their Department of Education.
Enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
It's too sacred. It's too important. But the first cards I got are more or less stating the current situation, Department of Education. They're fighting for their survival. There's suffering. There's exhaustion, overwhelmment. But I got something like what you had. There's going to be some strong leadership stepping in, very mindful of priorities and sticking to that. And there's going to be a great balancing out. And I think that concurs with what you said, Whimsy. It is going to be saved. And it's going to be through a change in leadership, strong leadership.
The Constitution's going to save us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is a question I got yesterday, and we didn't have the time to get to it. There was an interview. There's been a growing number of interviews regarding whether or not there will be an Article 25 issued against Donald Trump. Do you know anything about this?
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this for months now. You've even incorporated your wonderful impression of Lindsey Graham delivering the devastating news to Mr. Trump. But yeah, it just seems inevitable because it's like, doesn't it feel like they've milked Trump for everything they can get out of him? He served his purpose. Let's get rid of him. Let's start grooming JD Vance, getting him ready. It seems time. It does seem time to me.
Well, according to rumors that are leaking out of DC, I guess we can go into this as well. There are rumors that they are building a case for dementia.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's part of all the medical visits? They're documenting what's going on with his brain?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at a portion of this.
In the same way that I believe Trump just won in 2024. How does it work when is the idea that at some point Trump will be gone and nobody will ever talk about the 2020 was stolen thing again? Or what's the off-ramp from this?
Well, here's my immediate concern, that with the 2026 midterms coming up, Donald Trump sees this blue tsunami. It's not just a blue wave. Now, I mean, it really is a blue tsunami coming at him, at Congress. He is fearful of losing control of Congress. Not just the House, but actually there is a very, very significant possibility he could lose the Senate. How does he respond? Well, his easy.
Well, what do you think about that? See, I think they could lose the Senate. I think that's very possible.
That right off the bat means he's going to be impeached right off the bat. You know, if the Democrats get back in power.
I think he's going to quit.
Yeah. I think what he'll do, he'll use some medical reason. You know, we've seen this for a long time. That will be his quote unquote graceful way out. That, you know, and it'll give him a little bit of nobility. I'm so sorry, but I have to resign because of my health. I'm going to make the sacrifice for my country. You know, all that BS. But no, he's not fit. Just physically, he's not fit anymore for the office. And we've all seen the signs of dementia. I'm sure a case is being built.
He's not sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
No, did you see where he even fell asleep the other day at his birthday celebration? You know, that cage fighting thing. Fell dead asleep. Somebody had to poke him to wake him up. Yeah. Okay. It was caught on camera. So anyway, from Shizzle 1234. Oh, I'm so sorry. We had to put our cat Clover down last April due to pancreatitis flares. I'm terribly sorry. And part of me still feels like he wasn't ready. Do we let him go too soon, or was he ready?
Let's take a look and see how Clover is doing. I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've gone through that too. I know. It's I don't even know if I need to go further here. May I just say this? I get that Clover was suffering. There was suffering going on, and Clover's spirit knows your devotion. Clover's devoted to you. You devoted to Clover. Clover knows what you did was out of love and for the highest good, and it was a priority. I'm feeling like it was time. That's what I'm feeling. The cat understands. Yeah.
I don't get resistance at all.
Yeah. They know. They know when it's their time. Yeah.
So there's no resistance here. Also met on the other, a beautiful ending. This cat must have gone to sleep or something, because he simply moves on to the next chapter.
Yeah,
so
I love that devotion card.
I don't get any resistance from Clover. It might have been that the cat didn't want you to worry, or I think it's better. But once the cat accepted the transition, once the transition came, the cat accepted it very naturally.
Yes, that's what I get. If I may say this, a little over a decade ago, I had a cat dying of cancer, and I was doing everything I could to keep that cat alive, to the point where I was going home from work and pureeing cat food in a blender and putting it in a syringe and shooting it down his mouth because he wouldn't eat anymore.
Oh, wow.
And I realized now the cat was saying to me, let me go. It's okay. It's my time. Let me go. So I was prolonging his life and probably making him suffer. You know, the cats and dogs know when it's their time, and they usually will tell us. And the way they sit, there's nothing wrong with it. They're very wise. They know it's just a transition, and they're still with us. They still love us.
They just don't want to suffer, and he didn't.
Exactly.
Well, you know, Clover might send you another cat.
They do that too.
My cat sent me Sasha.
There you go.
I know we don't have time to go in the story, but I had several psychics confirm that to me, that he picked her out for me on the other side to be his successor. And Eve, his spirit, brought her to me. She approved of me. And then she was shortly after that, she was incarnated into this litter of kittens.
Wow.
Yeah. And I've always believed that. Sasha and I have always, you've seen the bond she and I have. He picked Charlie, my last cat, picked her out for me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
she picked you.
Yeah, she did. So from Meredith McLeod. So that's why Trump brags about his dementia tests. Then he can say that there's an out for him. Trump.
Do you think he would admit to dementia, though? I don't think he would.
I don't think he would admit to that, but I think he's just looking for anything that he could potentially use later as a graceful way of leaving office. See, I think he'll link it to health.
Let's take a look at Trump leaving office, if we can pick up anything about when or why. Well, he wants to be paid to leave. This is something that's come up in the past, is that there has to be some economic incentive. So if he can be guaranteed some kind of extreme economic benefit, we will pay you in underhanded contracts, then this could.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's being told not to speak to JD Vance. Like those two cannot
Really?
be in the same room together.
Interesting.
That JD Vance and him are being given separate advice to such an extent, like they don't talk, those two. That's the
Wow.
impression I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
And that a lot of the religious right are slowly beginning to move to JD Vance, because we have this opposition to him as the church. And that, I think that would be that the church is beginning to have a steady problems with Donald Trump, that his values, his behavior
Please.
is what they've had an issue with. Look at this,
Yeah.
concerns about having a crash. There it is, the tower with Trump, and 5 of Wands. He doesn't have the energy he once had
Oh,
to
no.
debate or argue with people or to win debates. He has a tremendous amount of anger and a great deal of frustration
Yeah.
that he's not able to get what he wants with his anger. He's not able to destroy lives the way that he had hoped to.
Yeah.
I see mounting legal problems for Trump going forward, and I see continuing problems with coronary artery disease.
Yeah.
Both legal problems and coronary artery disease in his future.
Well, it was Mary Trump herself who said, "My uncle takes delight in destroying people's lives."
He
Literally.
loves it.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah, he loves it. So, that's a diminished thing for him right there. When you said that about him being paid off, I thought there were probably millions of people in this country who would get out their checkbooks and happily write a check. Donald, go here.
Please go.
A lot want him to go. But in all seriousness, getting back to the cards, there is definitely going to be a judgment on him as far as Trump goes, loss. And I've gotten this card before with Trump. Boredom, the boredom card. He's lost. He's tired. He's not happy. He's bored with the job. He doesn't really want to be there. But I found this interesting. One of my last cards was compromise. And I think that could be some deal is going to be worked out, or something like, we're going to give you a graceful way of leaving. Maybe there will be payoff, but definitely compromise.
Golden parachute.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this last card I'm reluctant to show, because I think sometimes my guides have a sense of humor. When I was asking about what would happen if Trump left office, I got the gifts card. I thought, do I show that? But I think that's just my guides being a little humorous. But it's true. I think that's also reflective of the way a lot of people feel. It's going to be a gift when he leaves.
Please go.
Yes.
All right. So, Chuck, would you like to read the last question? And then we're going to go ahead and close the show since I have a 6:25. So I have a patient after this. I'm going to leave.
And I'll give the patient a call tomorrow. Just me 14-07W. Personal question. My brother is the executor of my mom's will. Is he being honest and truthful about it? Also, did his girlfriend steal the money that I think she did? Well, we'll read. But, we get questions like this a lot. There's a lot of duplicity going on, but let's see.
All right.
I'm not getting a good feeling about it.
No. This is one of those readings I don't like doing, but.
Yeah.
Whoa. Because then that is a 2-part question also, but I just have 2 cards right off the top here without even reading any further. I got family. Isn't that interesting? That jumped out, family, and I got shame. There's some sort of shame going on here, but I haven't read further, and maybe that's partly because I'm reluctant to go here with this. What did you get, Whimsy? And also got competition.
Well, she should. Hopefully, she has a right to see the will. So her lawyer should be looking over the will.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely strife here, and the Ace of Swords is with her brother. So if she does nothing, she could be screwed over.
Yeah. But
lawyer up.
I just want to say I had forgotten to hold up that card, the competition, the tug of war, the opposing sides. Sorry to interrupt you, Whimsy. But...
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, I don't think that she's in a safe situation. No. I don't like seeing Ace of Swords in the House of Opposition, because this is to win in victory, and it's in the house of your enemy. That has me concerned over the next 3 months. I'm also feeling like you're in the dark. Why haven't you seen the will? Why haven't you seen this stuff? You can't just sit back passively and helplessly in life while people rob you blind. It is the nature of people to try and get the best deal for themselves. It's who we are. Human beings do not treat one another very well. That's unfortunately true. So protect yourself.
And it's family. This goes on a lot. We've been asked this question a lot here on the show. I've done private readings for people where people have been in situations like, is my sibling cheating me? Another relative? Am I being told the truth? And duplicity, shame, all that keeps coming up over and over. And that shocks me even.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, protect yourself. That's probably
she says she saw the will. He said he paid her for the house, and I don't believe him.
Yeah, I would trust your instinct.
So go with a lawyer, and he needs to look at everything, because this is going to be a challenge. Stick to your ethics and you'll win, but you do have to lawyer up.
I just heard a guide say, trust that. That's your instinct. If you don't believe him, that's your instinct speaking. Act upon that. Your instinct is never going to let you down.
Who's on the title? That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, so he's claiming to her, I'm taking the house because I paid for it. Mom gave it because I paid.
Go down to the courthouse and see who's on that title.
That's right. Yeah, this also, they say your brother is not used to you challenging him, and that he's confused and taken aback by the fact that you are challenging him. The moon stands in the house of opposition. So he thought that he could simply say things and they would be accepted as the truth. So the fact that you are not accepting the truth and need to see these documents has taken him for a loop. But if he's starting to believe his own stories, which is something you see with narcissistic abuse, they're
like pathological liars. They believe their own lies.
Yeah, I was the victim of that for a long time, and they tell stories, and I think that they believe there's a part of them that believes their own insane stories.
Well, look what Trump did with Mary Trump, cutting her out of will.
Sure.
Yeah, he stole $30 million from her.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, if you saw the will, and he said he paid her for the house, wouldn't there be documentation of some kind?
Yes.
Bank transactions, things to prove that he paid her for the house? I would think those would be the first things I would want to look for.
That's where the lawyer comes in.
Yeah, that's where the lawyer comes in. And a lawyer, I just heard a voice say, a lawyer is a good investment.
And it's possible that money was stolen.
Yeah.
Yep, embezzled.
I'm concerned because I got that shame card.
Well, I've also got theft.
Yeah.
I've got Two of Pentacles, which is wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
Money that may have been earmarked towards house repairs, or it was money that was earmarked for something else.
Yeah.
Could have gone missing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, did you have fun today, Chucky Poo?
I had fun.
Time passed quickly. It went fast.
It did.
Yes.
I hope everybody's questions was answered today.
We tried.
Yeah, we tried.
Did try. Yeah.
So, Joel, if people want to get involved in your work as an activist for the rights of injured veterans, how would they reach you?
Just reach me at Joel Tilson at msn.com, and I'll answer all your questions.
And Joel can go ahead and type that Gmail, that MS, and email. so that you guys can contact him if you are veterans looking for support. Chuck, how can people get a reading with you or contact you if they need to have a consultation?
Well, the easiest way right now is still dransfieldchuck@gmail.com. I set up Zoho bookings. I'm still working out some bugs with that, but I'll have that soon as well, where you can directly book an appointment with me. But I'm always available to do artwork commissions for you, to do personal readings over the phone. It's a great love and a great honor of mine. And I also
He's the real deal, folks.
Thank you.
So
Thank
that's
you. And
Chuck
also,
Dransfield or Charles Dransfield?
It's dransfieldchuck@gmail.com. One word.
And don't forget his show on Monday nights.
I was just about to mention Chuck's Captivating Chronicles is my channel. Chuck's Captivating Chat, a show I do on Mondays where I do a lot of free readings on there for people. We've been having a lot of fun with that. And I'm also being more aggressive with my channel. I'm now, thanks to popular demand, posting a lot of my channeled readings. I have one from Marilyn Monroe on her 100th birthday, one from Betty Davis saying what she thought about Marilyn Monroe, and probably the most popular video I've ever had, the closest to anything going viral. I think I'm up at like 46,000 views now for my Amelia Earhart channel.
Excellent.
Reading.
They're all excellent, folks.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I love doing them, and I'm in the middle of putting up some more.
I think you're working on Princess Diana. I'm very excited.
I have Princess Diana in the works. I have Richard Nixon, Harry Truman, more from Jackie Kennedy. There'll be more videos coming.
Oh my God, how exciting.
I'm working hard. I'm channeling them. I'm also making artwork portraits to go with them. And then I have to shoot the videos and post them. So
wow, that's a lot of work.
It will be up. It's a lot of work, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I
Awesome.
really feel like I'm in my purpose here.
Great. And if you would, and if you would like to reach me, you can contact me, Dr. Whimsy Anderson at Booksy. That information can be found usually below these videos, or you can just Google Dr. Whimsy Anderson and find my Booksy address that way. All right, we are out of here. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless, peace out, and we will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.